What is up next for international travel with Donald Trump winning and becoming the 47th president? Is there a call for alarm? Should we world citizens be excited or sad? Will visa and paperwork get complex, costly, and time-consuming for non-US citizens? What does this mean for Americans visiting other countries? Well, in this video, we will dive deep to understanding the complexities around this issue. Before diving deep, please hit subscribe. It is free to you, and your kindness will really help this channel grow. Data show that more than 99% of you watching are not subscribed. It costs you nothing to just hit subscribe and support us to grow. It is free to you. I promise to make better videos and to respond to all your comments in the comments section in return as you subscribe. Thank you. Now picture this. You're standing in line at airport security, shuffling forward inch by agonizing inch. Shoes off, belt off, dignity arguably off. You're clutching your passport like it's the last life raft on the Titanic, dreaming of Mai Tais or maybe just a clean bathroom. You glance around and something's different. It's not just the lingering smell of Cinnabon and existential dread, no. The air is thick with a new kind of anxiety, a low humming uncertainty that wasn't there before. This, my friends, is the dawn of the Trump travel era. Because you see, when Donald Trump will descend that escalator, and yes, we're still talking about the escalator, he will not just announce his action plan. He has already unknowingly fired the starting pistol of a relay race, where there will be rapid alternations in the US dollar, and the finish line will be, well, we haven't quite figured that out yet. But one thing's for sure, the world of international travel is about to get a whole lot different. Buckle up, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Also, please subscribe. It will really help the channel grow. Remember the halcyon days when your biggest travel worry was whether your airline would lose your luggage? Those days are gone, and now is the era to think if it's legal travel or not. Now, you also have to worry about travel bans, variations in trade wars, and the very real possibility of getting into or out of a heated political debate with your Uber driver in a language neither of you fully understands. It's a thrilling time to be alive, isn't it? Just really thrilling. Fingers are crossed and expectations are mixed. So, join us as we delve into the bizarre and often baffling ways the Trump presidency reshaped the landscape of global travel. We'll explore the rise of undertourism, the unexpected Trump bump in certain markets, and the burgeoning digital nomad movement. We'll ask the tough questions like, is it still okay to wear a MAGA hat in Paris? Just kidding, probably not. On January 2025. The air will be crisp, the inauguration crowds will gather debatable, and the world will watch in amazement. Donald Trump will ascend to power. Again. Donald Trump, a man whose foreign policy experience, according to some people, could be summarized on the back of a particularly small cocktail napkin, will officially be the leader of the free world once again. And he has a simple message. Let's make America great again. Which, if we're being honest, sounded a bit like a slight buzzword for airline boarding announcements. Now, make America great again might sound patriotic in a bald eagle clutching a can of Bud Light kind of way, but in the delicate ecosystem of international relations, it lands with all the grace of a hippopotamus in a china shop. Suddenly, alliances will be questioned, treaties will be torn up or signed, and the global community will start eyeing the US with a mixture of confusion and happiness or deep concern. It feels like watching a reality TV show where the host suddenly decides to set fire to the set and then extinguishes it. And what does this have to do with travel, you ask? Well, everything. Because when the leader of the most powerful nation on Earth starts throwing diplomatic grenades left and right, the shockwaves are felt everywhere, especially in the world of international travel. Think of it like this. The world is a giant Jenga tower, and Trump just yanked out a crucial block labeled international cooperation. Suddenly, visas became harder to get. Travel advisories will multiply like rabbits in springtime, and the simple act of crossing a border will become fraught with a new level of geopolitical tension. Remember that carefree feeling of hopping on a plane to explore a new culture? Well, think twice now. To support us, please kindly hit subscribe. Free to you, but much help and support to our channel. We will make better videos in return. The initial travel bans will not just be a logistical nightmare, but perhaps a disaster. There might be a great deportation, one like the United States has never seen before. The image of the United States, once a welcoming beacon, might become less inviting and scary to visit. Protests might erupt worldwide, and the US might find itself isolated from the rest of the world. Less likely, though. Tourism will plummet, businesses will struggle or boom, and uncertainty might reign in some domains. A climate of fear and suspicion will make people hesitant to travel. The travel bans and deportations might create a climate of uncertainty, impacting everyone. Trump's presidency, like a misfired bottle rocket, has unintended consequences. Undertourism blossoms are overlooked in American towns. These towns become the 7-layer dip of tourism. They might charm visitors with local charm and less political noise. A win-win for towns and tourists alike, helping in the discovery of a quieter side of America. While some parts of the world enjoy undertourism, others will experience the Trump bump. It will be less of a bump and more of a malignant growth on international travel. Some countries, aligning with Trump's policies, will become the cool kids table, basking in the Trump bump, while others will wonder where it all went wrong. Perhaps these destinations might offer cheaper flights or fewer visa restrictions. The Trump bump and deportations highlight a trend in travel, prioritizing convenience over decency. Now, while some countries will enjoy the dubious benefits of the Trump bump, American tourists abroad might experience a different kind of bump. The bump in the road that comes with being associated with, well, the Trump administration. It's like showing up to a party wearing the same outfit as someone who just threw up in the punch bowl. You're not the one who did it, but you're still going to get some side-eye and some atypical considerations. Suddenly, that American passport, once a symbol of freedom and opportunity, might keep plummeting and become a bit of a liability. It's like having a VIP pass to a club that everyone suddenly realized all might not be right. You still get in, but the bouncer definitely gives you a once-over. In some countries, particularly those that have been on the receiving end of Trump's, let's call them strongly worded tweets, American tourists reportedly can experience increased scrutiny, longer wait times at customs, and a general sense of, shall we say, coolness. It's like being the only person who shows up to a potluck with a store-bought casserole. You're technically contributing, but no one's impressed. Now, the stereotype of the ugly American has been around for a while, though, so let's not get it twisted. It's the tourist who's loud, obnoxious, and completely oblivious to the local customs and culture that gets into trouble. They're the ones who wear Hawaiian shirts and socks with sandals, demand to speak English everywhere they go, and think tipping is optional. They're the reason the rest of the world thinks we all wear fanny packs and believe baseball is the only real sport. But during the Trump era, this stereotype are foreseen to take on a new dimension. It won't just be about being loud and obnoxious anymore. It will be about being associated with a political ideology that is, shall we say, not universally popular. It's like showing up to a party wearing a Make America Great Again hat. You're not just making a fashion statement, you'll be making a statement. A loud, obnoxious, and potentially sensitive statement. And let's be clear, this isn't fair to the vast majority of American tourists who will just be trying to enjoy their vacations without getting dragged into a political debate. It will be like being punished for your older siblings' bad behavior. You didn't do anything wrong, but you're still grounded. But fair or not, the perception of Americans abroad will change once more. And while some might argue that this will be a much-needed wake-up call, a chance for Americans to reflect on their country's role in the world, others might simply say, well, this is yet another season of life. Just like accidentally walking into the wrong bathroom and saying, sorry. Chapter 7. The Digital Nomad Revolution. Americans armed with laptops and wanderlust will become digital nomads. They might set up shop in places like Chiang Mai and Lisbon. A beachside bungalow in Bali will be a necessity. The rise of remote work might be fueled again. These nomads will offer a quieter face to America. They will contribute to the local economies, spending money and renting apartments. Chapter 8. The cruise industry's roller coaster. Now let's talk about cruises. The cruise industry will become booming during the early Trump years. Record bookings, overflowing casinos, and all-you-can-eat shrimp. But then, we will see how the dynamics will be from here. Maybe ships will be stranded, and stock prices will surge. They might not need to lobby for bailouts and implement safety protocols, as in the past. Slowly, they will begin to boom again. Facing new challenges, the industry will remain resilient. Chapter 9. Bon voyage and buckle up. So as we've sailed through this turbulent sea of the new comeback Trump travel era, one thing is crystal clear. It will be a wild ride with lots of uncertainty. Lots of hurts and joy simultaneously. From deportations to travel bans, to digital nomads, from plummeting cruise ships to fight borders and ports, the world of international travel will be reshaped in ways we're only beginning to understand as they will unfold. And frankly, it's exhausting just trying to keep up. Like trying to assemble IKEA furniture while riding a unicycle. Frustrating, confusing, and likely to end in tears. What are your thoughts on all these movements? Will you flee the country during the Trump years, seeking refuge in a Balinese co-working space? Would you find yourself unexpectedly charmed by a group of digital nomads while backpacking through Southeast Asia? Or will you remain stuck on a cruise ship, desperately rationing your hand sanitizer and praying for a swift return to dry land? We want to hear your thoughts. Share your expectations, your insights, and your most harrowing travel tales in the comments below. Because honestly, we could all use a good laugh or a good cry right now. And if you're as fascinated by the ever-changing world of travel as we are, and let's be honest, who isn't, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll stay up to date with the latest trends, predictions, and analyses of how global events are shaping our travel experiences. Think of us as your travel Sherpas, guiding you through the treacherous terrain of international travel in the 21st century. We'll provide the maps, the snacks, and the occasional dose of much-needed sarcasm. So buckle up, fellow travelers. The journey is far from over. The world is waiting, and it's more fascinating, confusing, and occasionally terrifying than ever before. Safe travels, keep your passports ready, your minds open, and your sense of humor intact.